Welcome back to the Magic Corner. Appreciate you clicking on that thumbnail. And you did so because you wanted to learn the One-Eyed Jack sandwich. And why not? It's a great one by Harry Lorraine tutorial coming up next. If you haven't seen the performance of One-Eyed Jack sandwich, I'll have a link in the description below. I'll also have it up here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss any performances, tutorials, reviews, and especially giveaways and shoutouts. Speaking of sub shoutouts, two guys who have been here before, Will Kapke and Robert Ball Magician. Will's comment on the performance video was, "I'd rather be between the queens." Well, Will, that statement can go either way, and you may have some explaining to do with the wife again. Robert Ball Magician is up here again. That's twice. His comment on the One-Eyed Jack performance video was, "Great performance, very cool sandwich trick, nothing like being in the middle." Well, if you're ever in town, RBM, look me up, we'll get a beer. Would love to hear those stories. And we can't forget about Magic Master. His comment on the last video was, "I love your channel, partly because of the editing and partly because of your raw talent." Well, apparently you're still cashing those checks I keep sending you for those comments, so keep it up. So congrats to all the shout out winners. Now let's just dive right into the tutorial for the One-Eyed Jack sandwich. All right, let's zoom in here a little bit so I can tell you what you're gonna need for the trick. First off, you're just gonna need a regular deck of cards, okay? Also, pull out the Jack of Spades and the Jack of Hearts, the two One-Eyed Jacks, and one joker. I suggest you get rid of the other joker. You don't want the spectator picking that. They won't remember which one. Okay? Next, what are the sleights that you're going to need for the trick? Well, there are 4 of them, but they're not that hard, and we've seen them all before. So the first thing is a pinky break. The next is a thumb break when you transfer to that undercut, and then a crisscross cut. So a pinky break, thumb break, undercut, and a crisscross cut. And that's it. The setup, well, very simple. The two One-Eyed Jacks with the joker sandwiched in between face down on top of the deck, and that's it. And now you're ready to start the trick. Okay, this is one of the few tricks where I actually tell a spectator what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So the story is, if you went back to the performance, is a joker can actually either be another card or switch itself out, in this case for a spectator's selected card. Also emphasize, in order for it to work, it has to be face down sandwiched in between two One-Eyed Jacks. And as you're explaining this and placing the jacks and the jokers on top of the pack, you're now going to catch that break underneath the Jack of Spades. I'm just going to cut the jacks and the jokers into the pack. And in doing so, what you've done now is you've just set yourself up. So let's go through what just happened. You have that break underneath the jack. You cut off about half the cards and transfer that pinky break into this thumb break. As you're putting the bottom half on the top, you're really putting it right on top of that jack, which has now become part of the pack, and then you're placing the bottom half on the top. So what you've done was, you've now placed the jack face up, and the two top cards, the Jack of Hearts and the Joker, are on the top too, with the Jack of Hearts being face up. At this point, you have the Jack of Hearts face up. So when you spread through the deck, you don't want to flash. You don't want to flash at all. So what I do is I spread through the deck through several cards and just have a spectator touch a card, Ace of Spades, and as they do, you show it, place it on the bottom, and then turn the pack over. Okay, as you're talking about signing the card, this is where I catch that pinky break on the bottom. And the reason I do that is you're basically going to do a slip cut and keeping this joker that's on the bottom. But I hate hearing that noise, so I'd like to control this card. Okay, so as you're doing a swing cut, you are just grabbing that bottom card and now putting the ace in the middle. And now the trick is pretty much done. You spread out the cards. You say to the spectator, let's grab the jacks with the joker in between and place that down. Remember I mentioned to you something magical can happen, and as you're doing so, you're just squaring up the pack. You'll have a spectator at this point just cut off as little or as much as they would like. And there's your crisscross cut. Do not put the cut back perfectly horizontal. It looks odd. And don't say, I'm going to mark where you cut. The reason why you are marking where they have just cut is because of the statement I'm now going to tell you should be saying. We'll get back to where you cut in a minute. Write it down, commit it to memory. We'll get back to where you cut in a minute, and then pick up the jacks with the joker. Remember I told you at the beginning of the trick, sometimes the joker will switch itself out for a spectator selected card and turn it over and let them soak that in, okay? It's all now in the presentation. Now you tell them, let's see where you cut. Lift up the top part and point to the pack. They'll turn it over and it will be the joker. The two have switched places. As their mind is being blown, just grab the two packs and let them know it is the only joker in a shuffled deck and everything can be examined. Okay, that was the tutorial for One-Eyed Jack Sandwich. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Remember, don't forget to subscribe, make a clever comment in this video, and you may get shouted out in my next video and get your name on here. Also coming up on the channel moving forward, more performances, tutorials, product reviews, and giveaways. As a matter of fact, Product Review Thursday is coming back on June 13th. I'll be reviewing a product and then giving it away, so stay tuned for more on that as the date approaches. So I think that's it, Penguin. So on behalf of Penguin and myself, we appreciate you watching. And until next time, we'll see you around the corner.